Well, hello again. Welcome again to another episode of Down to Earth but Heavenly Minded. We're in episode 27. We're going to be starting a new chapter. Now, this chapter that we're going to be going through is chapter 9 of John's Gospel. And I just want to mention that this story is about the man that was born blind. And this is, again, another one of the signs. And we were going through the signs, just going to my list here. Okay, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the sixth sign, or 7 signs, I believe there was. Anyway, this is the man that was born blind. And this actually goes through the complete chapter. And it's going to be a little longer episode because I got to read the whole chapter and to get the whole story. And the story speaks for itself. So let's just go through and we'll read this. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. Okay. And the disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And Jesus answered, Neither has this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the work of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the work of him that sent me, while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoke, he spit on the ground, and he made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the man that was with the clay, and he said to him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is, by interpretation, sent. He went his way, and washed, and came seeing. The neighbors, therefore, and they which before had seen him that was blind, said, Is not this he that sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, How were thy eyes open? And he answered and said, A man that is called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes, and said unto me, Go in to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed and received my sight. Then said they unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not. And they brought him to the Pharisees. And they brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind. And it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Okay, they're looking for a reason now. Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. And he said unto them, He put clay on my eyes, and I washed, and I do see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keeps not the Sabbath day. Others says, How can this man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them. They said unto the blind man again, What sayest thou of him, that he has opened thine eyes? And he said, He is a prophet. But the Jews did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight, until they called his parents to him, and they received his sight, that had received his sight. And they asked them, saying, Is this your son, whom ye say was born blind? How does how does how then does he see? His parents answered them and said, We know that this is our son, and that he was born blind, but by what means he now sees we know not, or who has opened his eyes we know not. He is of age, ask him, he shall speak for himself. These words spake his parents because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. Therefore, said his parents, He is of age, ask him. Well, then again they called the man that was blind, and they said unto him, Give God the praise. We know that this man is a sinner. He asked and said, Whether he is a sinner or not, I do not know. I know one thing. I know that whereas I was blind and now I see. They can't dispute that. This man was born blind. Then said they to him again, What did he to thee? How opened he thine eyes? And he answered, I have told you already, and you do not hear. Wherefore would ye hear it again? Will ye also be his disciples? Then they reviled him and said, Thou art his disciple, but we are Moses' disciple. We know that God speaks unto Moses. As for this fellow, we know not from where he is. And the man answered and said unto them, Why, here is a marvelous thing, that ye know not from whence he is, and yet he has opened my eyes. Wow. Now, we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and doeth his will, him he hears. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of the one that was born blind? If the man were not of God, he could do nothing. They answered and said unto him, Thou was altogether born in sin, and dost thou teach us? And they cast him out. And Jesus heard that they had cast him out. And when he had found him, he said unto him, This is very important, so listen to it. Dost thou believe on the Son of God? And he answered and said, Who is he, Lord, that I might believe on him? And Jesus said unto him, Thou hast both seen him, and it is he who is talking with thee. So Jesus is showing the man who he really is. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. And Jesus said, For judgment I am come into this world, that they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. And some of the Pharisees, which were with him, heard these words, and said to him, Are we blind also? And Jesus said unto them, If ye were blind, ye should have no sin. But now ye say, We see, therefore your sins remains. You know, if you think you really know it all, you don't know. But if you admit that you are blind to the things of God, and you come to Jesus, he'll heal you of your spiritual blindness. And that's really what these stories are all about. Yes, Jesus physically cured a blind man, but it shows that he has power to cure us of our spiritual blindness and open our eyes to the things of God. This is a very important chapter. So think about these things. Well, that's it for today. It's been a little longer. Well, actually, not too bad. It's only about 10 minutes. I guess I must have read through it pretty fast. Well, bye for now. Till next time. We'll be in the next chapter, which we will see our shepherd, the great shepherd. Bye for now.